When you place your faith in the divine at the forefront of your life, everything else finds its rightful order. On the journey toward achievement, many lose their way. We squander moments, drain our vitality, and drift from our true essence in a frantic pursuit of goals without understanding our deeper purpose. Over the years, one truth has crystallized for me. No matter how far you rise, without a foundation rooted in something eternal, you risk a painful fall. Success devoid of meaning is hollow. Wealth without guidance breeds confusion. And influence without humility leads to ruin. So, I urge you today to center your life on the divine, because every aspect of your existence hinges on this choice. It is the wellspring of all wisdom and strength. For much of my life, I believed success was a formula of planning, persistence, focus, and effort. These elements matter, no question, but there's a deeper force that binds them together when challenges arise, a spiritual anchor that infuses everything you do with purpose. The divine isn't a decorative add-on, not a backup plan, nor a resource to tap only in crisis. It is the core, the foundation, the source of all authentic power. When you prioritize this connection, life aligns, not because obstacles vanish, but because you face them not from your own fragility, but from an unshakable strength. Encountering the divine means discovering your true self. Many live in turmoil, frustration, or emptiness because they've lost sight of who they are. They've constructed identities based on accomplishments, appearances, others' opinions, or external approval. But when you place the divine first, everything shifts. You not only acknowledge a higher power, but also realize you were created with intention, with a purpose that transcends personal ambition. You are not here by chance, not a random occurrence, not merely surviving. You exist to fulfill a divine calling. That calling comes alive when your life aligns with the eternal. Prioritizing the divine is an act of strength, not surrender. In a world obsessed with control, self-reliance, and independence, some view faith as a sign of weakness, a crutch for those who can't stand alone. But I assure you, the opposite is true. Placing the divine first is the boldest declaration of power. It's proclaiming to the universe, I don't lean solely on my own strength, but on an infinite source. It's embracing your limits while tapping into boundless possibility. It's yielding, yes, but not to fear, to the greatest love there is. This surrender doesn't diminish you, it empowers you, connects you to eternity, and makes you unyielding. A divine focus reshapes your entire existence. When the divine is your priority, your choices gain clarity. Your relationships deepen, your work transforms, your mind renews, and your priorities align. Life won't be flawless, but you'll find peace amid chaos, purpose in pain, and direction in uncertainty because you're no longer driven by fear, but by faith. Ask yourself honestly, where are you placing your trust? What are you relying on more than the divine? Your skills, your wealth, your intellect, your network, your career, your plans, your image, your strategies, or even yourself. All these can falter, all can break, but the divine is constant, unchanging, and inexhaustible. When you make the divine your ultimate focus, you no longer journey alone. You're no longer swayed by the world's currents. You become someone guided, supported, and upheld by the creator of all things. Your ambitions must stem from your connection to the divine. I coach people to set goals and live with intention. But here's a truth many overlook. Not every goal that excites you aligns with the divine. Some ambitions arise from ego, past wounds, comparison, or pride. Even if you achieve them, they leave you unfulfilled. But goals rooted in communion with the divine, aligned with your eternal purpose, and aimed at impact rather than just success, these bless not only you, but everyone around you. When the divine is first, everything else settles into place. You don't need to abandon your dreams or stop striving. You don't need to withdraw from the world. You simply need to reorder your priorities, the divine first, your spirit next, your purpose after, and the rest follows naturally. Life isn't about racing faster, but moving in the right direction, and no one can guide you better than the one who created you. Everything transforms when you shift your foundation. So I invite you today, don't treat the divine as a last resort or a crisis lifeline. Make it the center, the starting point of all you do. You'll witness chaos turning to clarity, noise fading to calm, and emptiness filling with purpose. A relationship with the divine renews your mind, reshapes your path, and redefines your destiny. Prioritizing the divine isn't just words, it's a way of life. It's not about sporadic prayers or occasional religious gestures. It's about a deliberate, intimate, ongoing connection that changes how you think, act, and choose. Seeking the divine is a daily choice. Each morning, you decide, chase the world's demands or turn first to the Creator. The way you begin your day shapes its course. Starting with the divine brings order to your thoughts, calm to your heart, focus to your actions, and balance to your emotions. It's not mysticism, it's connection. It's inviting the divine into your journey before any other influence. So ask yourself, what's your first focus each day? Social media or prayer? Worry or peace? Your tasks or your eternal calling? What you feed your mind shapes your life. If you're not filling it with eternal truth and wisdom, it's being molded by the world's noise, fear, and falsehoods. Sacred texts aren't just ancient writings. They're a guide for living, a mirror for your soul, a compass for decisions, and a wellspring of spiritual strength. Engaging with these texts daily isn't a duty, it's nourishment. It's letting the divine speak to you, aligning you with truth, clearing away the world's clutter, and filling you with wisdom. When your mind is steeped in divine truth, your choices clarify, your emotions stabilize, and your purpose comes into focus. Prayer is a living dialogue, not a one-sided recitation. Many see prayer as repeating empty words, but it's far more. It's a conversation with the divine, a space to open your heart, express gratitude, surrender struggles, seek guidance, and listen. The divine doesn't stay silent. It speaks through peace, conviction, people, or sacred words. Regular prayer shapes your character, drawing you closer to the Creator's nature. A relationship with the divine guides your decisions. When it's your priority, you don't react impulsively, choose from fear, or base decisions on appearances. You act with wisdom, choose with faith, and move with purpose. Before every step, you pause to ask, is this aligned with the divine? Does this build or break? Does this draw me closer to my purpose? That pause changes everything, tying you to an eternal plan rather than fleeting pressures. True success requires divine presence. I've seen people with wealth, fame, and acclaim who lack peace, living in anxiety or emptiness. Why? Because they prioritized everything but the divine, and eventually it all crumbles. Yet, I've also seen those with modest means but profound faith, radiating joy, calm, and strength. Their success isn't tied to external measures, but to the divine presence in their lives. When the divine is present, the little multiplies, and the abundant is stewarded with purpose. Your relationships mirror your connection to the divine. When you're rooted in faith, you love more deeply, forgive more freely, choose your circle more wisely, and step away from what harms your spirit. The divine touch transforms, and if your heart is touched, your relationships, emotional, familial, professional, reflect that change. With the divine as your guide, you walk with assurance. The world shifts constantly. Crises emerge, opportunities fade, plans unravel. But with the divine at the helm, your heart remains steady, your mind clear, your faith firm. You no longer live reactively, swayed by what you see, but aligned, rooted, and grounded. When others falter, you stand, not because you're stronger, but because you're sustained by an unmovable foundation. A relationship with the divine isn't an accessory, it's the bedrock. It's not a ritual, but a living bond, daily choice, a deep reliance. When you prioritize this connection, life aligns, not because it's perfect, but because you're no longer alone. You walk with purpose, meaning, and direction. Knowing true success isn't just about what you achieve, but about staying connected to your Creator. How do you know if the divine is truly first in your life? The answer doesn't come when everything's smooth, when plans succeed or results flow. It's revealed in the fall, in betrayal, in solitude, in unanswered prayers. In those dark valleys where silence feels heavy and no one else understands, you discover whether the divine was your priority or merely a fallback. Faith isn't proven in moments of ease, but in battles. Many praise when life is abundant, but few stand firm when the ground shakes. Prioritizing the divine is a warrior's choice, believing without signs, obeying without clarity, moving forward when every instinct screams to quit. That's where true champions are forged. Have you ever poured out your heart in prayer and heard only silence? Have you sought guidance and found none? Have you cried out and felt ignored? I have, and in those moments, I learned something vital. The divine doesn't always respond as you expect. Sometimes silence is an invitation to go deeper, not just seeking answers, but seeking transformation, faith, and unwavering trust. That faith is built in the shadows, when you hold fast despite the world shouting otherwise. If the divine is first, setbacks don't define you. You'll stumble, fail, or falter. That's human. The divine doesn't demand perfection, only priority. When it's your foundation, every fall is met with the power to rise. But if your identity rests on success, image, or performance, every stumble will shatter you. Anchor your identity in the divine, and neither victory will inflate your pride, nor defeat will crush your spirit. Trials are your spiritual training ground. No classroom teaches like a challenge, no practice hones like waiting, no guide instructs like suffering surrender to the divine. In chaos, the divine isn't silent to punish, but to prepare, shaping your faith and aligning your purpose. Want resilience? Face the test. Want wisdom? Walk the desert. Want strength? Persevere without quitting. There's a power forged in wounds, an authority earned when the divine remains first, even when all else fades. Don't sideline the divine when life feels goalless. Many treat faith like a bargain. Give me this and I'll follow. Succeed and I'll believe. But that's not faith. It's a transaction. The divine operates on an eternal promise, not human terms. When you prioritize the divine in your darkest moments, when you trust despite confusion, when you kneel instead of turning away, you declare to the heavens, I'm here for connection, not just outcomes. You remain first no matter what. Pain with the divine becomes purpose. Without it, pain hardens you. With it, pain refines you. Failure without the divine breaks you. With it, failure molds you. Waiting without the divine drains you. With it, waiting equips you. Prioritize the divine in the storm, not after it passes, and you'll see. The fire doesn't consume when the divine walks with you. The valley doesn't overwhelm when it leads, and tears don't drown when they're held. Your breakthrough is coming, but in divine timing. The divine is never late, but it doesn't follow your schedule. Prioritizing it means trusting that. Accepting you don't control every outcome, understand every moment, or need every answer, because you trust the one who holds them. Hold fast to faith. Don't trade your priority for a shortcut, or abandon it when transformation is near. The divine honors those who honor it, never forgetting those who keep it first, even when the world urges surrender. You may not grasp why you face your current struggles, loneliness, confusion, or pain, but I tell you with all my conviction, prioritize the divine, especially in those moments, because faith in the darkness ushers in the greatest light. One day, you'll look back and see it wasn't your talent, effort, or plans that carried you. It was keeping the divine first, even when everything else crumbled. The greatest danger isn't failure, it's success. Failure drives you to seek help. Success tempts you to forget. When achievements pile up, contracts, praise, wealth, the risk grows of sidelining the divine. Success without the divine is a deceptive lure. You can have millions and be spiritually empty, countless followers yet lack direction, crowds around you yet feel alone. Why? Because success amplifies ego. And without a divine anchor, ego convinces you you're self-sufficient. If your success distances you from the divine, it's not a gift, it's a diversion. The divine doesn't grant success to lose you, but to shine through you. When doors open, when you rise, when abundance flows, it's not to glorify yourself, but to reflect the divine. Your influence, platform, resources, and voice are tools to be used with purpose, integrity, wisdom, and humility. It's not about the world seeing your greatness, but seeing the divine through you. That's only possible when, despite success, the divine remains first. Prioritizing the divine in success keeps you grounded when tides turn. Success is fleeting. Today's applause becomes tomorrow's criticism. But when the divine is your center, you don't crumble with setbacks because you're rooted in eternity. Remember, you're not the product of your efforts alone. You're a vessel of divine grace. Living with that truth fosters humility, gratitude, vision, and purpose. True success is fidelity, not fame. I've mentored countless leaders and entrepreneurs, and I've seen a pattern. Some grow inwardly as they rise outwardly, while others grow only externally, decaying within. The difference lies in their heart's priority. Those who keep the divine first don't compromise integrity for gain or let pride consume them. Their success serves a greater purpose, to impact, to reflect the divine. How does prioritizing the divine look in success? First, make choices with spiritual clarity. Not every lucrative opportunity is right. Not every popular path is wise. Faith-based decisions set you apart. Second, stay generous. When the divine is first, abundance doesn't breed selfishness, but becomes a channel for blessing. Third, remember your roots. Humility isn't diminishing yourself, but focusing less on self. Knowing all good comes from above. Fourth, give credit where it's due. Success isn't solely yours. It's grace, opportunity, and divine purpose. Acknowledge it openly. Fifth, never stop seeking the divine daily. Busyness doesn't replace connection. The more demands you face, the more you need that anchor. History's great faithful figures, those who reached the heights yet kept their spiritual fire alive, prayed, studied sacred texts, stayed accountable, and listened to the divine. Their legacy endured because the divine wasn't a means to success, but the purpose of it. Don't let achievements disconnect you from what matters most. Your reliance on divine guidance and humility before its greatness. Keep the divine first, even at the peak, and it will sustain you through every shift. When the divine is first, your life transforms forever. You weren't made to chase wealth aimlessly or extinguish emotional fires endlessly. You were created to live with vision, build with strength, and impact the world from a place of spirit, not ego. That only happens when your foundation is right, when your guide isn't fear or ambition, but divine presence. A life centered on the divine is marked by clarity. Your choices stem from wisdom, not haste. Your relationships grow from purpose, not need. Your habits become investments, not burdens. Your goals no longer enslave you because they align with a higher calling. Challenges remain, but you rise above them. Prioritizing the divine grants perspective, identity, and discernment, pillars that make you resilient. Your life gains a mission. Your ego aligns, your time organizes, your vision sharpens. You no longer crave validation from fleeting sources or need human approval to feel worthy. You walk knowing your actions carry meaning, your struggles have purpose, your losses don't define you, and your achievements are tools, not your identity. The difference between a life with the divine first and one without is like building on rock versus sand. Those who prioritize the divine leave an eternal imprint. Anyone can make a mark in this world, but only those anchored in the divine leave a legacy for eternity. Others chase vanity. You'll build with purpose. Others seek applause. You'll plant principles. Others aim to shine. You'll illuminate. Others want followers. You'll lead with intention, because it's no longer about you. It's about the divine working through you. Those who prioritize the divine don't fear life's end. The greatest human dread is reaching life's close and realizing you pursued the wrong things. Sacrifice the eternal for the urgent. But when the divine is first, the end brings peace. You'll know you lived with purpose, stayed true, and left a seed of impact in every life you touched. That's the truest wealth. So, what's your next step? Inspiration and understanding aren't enough. You must act. Here's a clear call. Start today, right now, to put the divine first in the small moments, in your daily rhythm, in your thoughts, in your heart. Carve out time each morning. Surrender your choices, offer your pain, dedicate your ambitions, and honor the divine in your victories. Seek guidance before you act. When you do, prepare for transformation. Your relationships will shift, your vision will expand, your mind will clear, your spirit will strengthen, your heart will find peace, and your life will become a testament to divine power. I've met countless people and taught strategies and habits, but one truth stands above all. When you place the divine first, it handles everything else better than you ever could. It sees beyond your horizon, knows your future, understands your heart, never tires, never fails, never errs. Today I challenge you. Do you want true progress? Do you seek lasting peace? Do you crave success with meaning? Do you want a life worth living? Then make this choice now. Put the divine first and keep it there. Your life will never be the same.